So we're just showing you what we can do with a D6 cat there, if you know what you're doing. We had a ranch here in Fort St. John, and when we finally sold out, we had lots of junk equipment. And so I just pushed it in a big pile and just crunched it all up with the cat. Worked pretty good. And then we were able to put it in big bins, and then a truck come and we got paid for all the scrap. So, and we got some other pictures of land clearing and stuff, so I'll explain what we're doing as we go along. Yeah, so that was just some clips of some demolishing some apartment equipment there when we moved from our ranch in Fort St. John. Yeah, I'll just explain a few things here. I guess we're putting a new motor in the cat here. Just a few more clips, and we have some more videos we're going to show you here. And we changed the motor to put a new motor in it. Here's the final drive. Took the final drive out of it. That's what it looks like once you pull it out of there. The sprockets onto there. There's just putting the motor in the back of the truck there. Pollard equipment. I think it cost me about 20 grand to rebuild it. Pollard equipment rebuilt it. And we're just hauling some firewood there, or stuff with the mill there, the winch set up on it. That's what the cat looked like when it was brand new, or not brand new when I just got it, and it was all painted up there. New to me, I guess. And this is a cutter. It actually doesn't have enough power to do anything with that cutter. It needs about a D8 on there, so we tried it. There was a hoe that I got stuck, and a hard time getting that out. I had to get another hoe to dig it out. And got a half a day there getting that out. And this is just some muskeg up in Fort St. John. We're clearing there with the cat. There in the wintertime works pretty good. It makes it all nice and flat. I'm doing some burning there. We had about 2,000 acres that I cleared with that cat in the 10 years that I had it. And there's just pushing with a brush rake there. Cleans up all the wood nice and doesn't put any dirt in the piles. This is where I'm just winching our house into a new location there. The truck couldn't back up with it, so we're just using the cat to winch it back. We're using the cat to push down on these pilings and the hoe to push down, so between the two of them it really pushes some pilings down good. And they're just some horses there. I'll show you a couple more videos here. walking down a poplar forest that I'm clearing for the ranch. It works pretty good if you do it while it's wet. You just go around with a blade, lift it up as high as you can, and you can just walk right over all this stuff. The advantage of doing it when it's wet is the stumps come up. They don't shear off so much, and then it makes it really easy when you clean it all up. Then it's you use a brush rake, put it in rows, burn it up, and then you can work the land right away. You can seed it to grass or whatever. If you end up having a bunch of stumps and shearing it off, then you're having to fight with all that stuff in the ground. So this works pretty good. The one problem, couple problems you have there is the cat heats up because you have a lot of debris, fine branches and leaves and stuff. So you have to keep an eye on the temperature, and the fire hazard is also a problem because you get all this dry stuff around the muffler and it starts fires in the cat. So you're having to carry something to make sure you can put out any fires. Even just cans of pop, you can spray it in there, water, whatever. Usually have a Honda pump somewhere near a dugout if you can, and then you can just kind of clean it out as it starts getting plugged up with debris, and make sure you got water on hand. So we'll just show you how this works, and then we'll clean up a bunch of this stuff with a brush rake. Once you have all the trees walked down, you can start piling them with the brush rake. So the brush rake works really nice because it allows you to clean the material up without getting too much dirt in there. A common mistake that people make that are kind of new to the equipment is they try to clean it up too nice. And what happens is if you get a little bit of material left in there, you're trying to clean up the odd little stick or stump, and then you end up pushing a lot of dirt in there. So don't be too fussy when you're cleaning it up. The main objective is to get the material pushed into rows without too much dirt, because you really need to do that to get it to clean up nice, because you get it piled up, then you let it dry for 6 months and it'll all burn up pretty good. You can clean up them few extra pieces later. Another thing you really got to watch out is you don't get poked, eh? If you're running a cat like this with just a canopy and you don't have a cab, yeah, you risk doing damage to the air cleaner, the muffler, and damage to yourself. It doesn't take long for a stick to come up. You really got to watch what you're doing when you're piling and when you're walking stuff over. It doesn't take much. A stick can come around there and poke you and really do some damage to you, so you got to be very careful. So we're cleaning up Muskeg here. Kind of a little bit tricky there because you can get stuck really easy if you break down through the top part, which it freezes. It's really wet underneath. So what we're doing is just cleaning all this up here, and we fed cattle in there. Just put bale graze there, put bales out. There's another video in there that I have of winter bale grazing. That's what we did. So we just cleaned all this up, put bales of hay out there, and they had good bedding for the cattle. And then they spread the manure all over there, and then they had the hay and stuff, and the grass grew back in there. So this was just muskeg here, and it burnt over, had a fire. And it's a pretty good way of clearing land. Takes a long time for this stuff to dry out enough to burn, and the idea was to push another pile from the other side the next year, and then just end up with that burn there. It's Frank from MC Ranch. I hope you're enjoying some of the pictures of my old cat. It's a 1978 D6D. Bought it in 2005 and had it about 10 years. Sold it in 2015. This is where it's stuck in a big, in a muskeg there. It fell through into a big kind of a dugout. Had a real hard time getting it out. It got froze solid in there. And had to get a hoe there and basically move all the material around it and pump water for days. And we put a big parachute in there to thaw it out and get it out. It was quite cold after it fell in. I think it was some maybe minus 20 or more in these pictures here. So it was all kind of frozen into a big block of ice. It was lots of fun getting it out of there. This is a brush rake would have on it. It works really good when it's clearing land there. You just push them over and you wouldn't get very much dirt in there. As you see some of the videos, you clean it up really nice. This isn't my cat, but it's a hoe. I got stuck in there. We had a hard time getting that one out too. We had to dig the whole thing out. That's what she looked like when she was when I first bought it. It was all just painted and shiny. And 10 years later, I basically replaced everything on it and was back. That's a cutter, a great big cutter. It actually was too big for that cat. I couldn't do much with it. Didn't have enough power for it. That's when we were building our house up in Fort St. John. There was first clearing the land there and getting it all cleared up. This is for the engine. I done the engine on it, pulled the engine out of it, pulled out with the tractor. Pollard Equipment rebuilt the engine for me. This is a braking plow that I pulled behind it. They broke quite a bit of land with it. Just a two-bottom plow. That thing would go through stumps and everything. This is a final drive. When I was doing the final drives there, pulled the final drive it out from the shop there. And it's just some muskeg we're clearing. Did lots of that. And the wintertime works good when it's frozen solid. We just shear it off and you can get it pretty clean. And I was just doing some skidding with the winch there. I'll bring all your firewood and stuff in with the cat. And so we're doing some burning. You had to be careful to change direction of the fans so it's blowing instead of sucking, or you get sparks and stuff in your engine. Here's one of the quarter sections. We cleared thousands of acres with this thing that we cleaned up. And here we're just pulling the house. When I moved the house to the new place, the truck was stuck, so you used the cat to pull it back. And just another picture of the when we were stuck that time with the hoe there, cleaning it up. And it was tricky to keep the hoe from sinking there. So here we're just clearing. Same thing in the winter time. It's frozen solid. Works really nice. You just shear it off, make it all nice and level and straight. Cleans it up really nice with the blade. So that's it. That's all I got for you.